Nikola Jokic looks better somehow than he has even the last 3 seasons. Like he's just figured out a whole nother level to his game and has made it look pretty easy. I'm getting 73 win Warriors vibes from this team. Are the Nuggets just inevitable at this point to you guys?
As in they'll win 73 games and then lose in the
As in
finals.
this is a
But just
60 win team and they're gonna, they're
I,
gonna make another easy run to the finals.
I think I think I don't know about an easy run to the finals, but I think they're going to run through the NBA season. I had a worry that they were kind of going to have their foot off the gas a little bit to start the season, a little bit championship hangover and whatnot and things like that. But nah, I mean, from day one, foot to the pedal to the metal all the way, like they're just going hard and going at things. And the thing that's kind of surprised everybody has been their bench, the production they're getting from their bench. These young guys, the whole concern over the offseason was Bruce
It's
Brown's
so
gone.
funny.
What are they going to do? Jeff Green's gone. This team's going to be, they're screwed. Nah, they're fine because they still have Jokic.
Well,
And, I think that's the more impressive thing with that. I thought he might ease into the season. And as you said, Dave, he almost looks better than he has at any point when he won the MVPs.
how rare is it for a team to win a title and then get younger and more athletic and not look like they've missed a beat, Seth? I mean, we've talked for years about the Bucks and their big hangup has been a lack of athleticism. And then you look at this Nuggets bench, and I mean, look at their starting lineup. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is a freak athlete. Aaron Gordon's a freak athlete. Nikola Jokic is actually a freak athlete. But then there's that bench, and it looks like Julian Strawther's another guy that they just happened to find who can play for them. It's incredible.
So remember, we went back a couple years ago, and we may or might not get to the Grizzlies later, but we were talking about when they decided to kind of cycle the bottom of their bench or the middle of their bench by letting D'Anthony Melton go, letting Kyle Henderson go. And I think what they were going for is a little bit of what we've seen from the Nuggets, in that, Bruce Brown's very good player. He's very helpful for us to be sustainable as a winner at the level of expenditure that ownership is comfortable with. That's not a spot that we can pay top dollar for. So we have to continually cycle. And we think with Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, like other places that we can get that production, because we are confident in our ability to identify and develop talent. And I think we're seeing what that looks like when it works. Now, sometimes it goes the other way, where as we've seen in Memphis last year, and certainly so far this year, where you make bets on young guys and they don't develop, they don't fit in quite the same way you want. Now, as you said, it certainly helps that you start with Jokic, who is the biggest like multiplier effect, it seems like, in the league right now, in terms of giving other guys a chance to shine.
I mean, you got to give them credit. I mean, Seth, what you said was right on, and they've hit on the young guys, right? Like, we could be singing a whole different tune, had these guys kind of struggled. If Peyton Watson doesn't come out of the gate well, if Christian Brown struggles, if, like all of that stuff, Strawther just shooting the piss out of the ball the other day, like it would be pretty surprising. Or jarring, excuse me, would be the right word, where we'd be like, damn, yeah, they do miss Bruce Brown. They do miss Jeff Green. We'd go nuts with all that stuff. But I think that's the thing teams have to do, and try to find that way of, like, Bruce Brown's contract would have been untenable for them. They couldn't re-sign it. They planned ahead and were well aware of that and made the moves they've had to do that. And I think, you see them loading up on second round picks because they understand that in the future they might have to do that again. And I think that's the stuff there. It is a kind of it's a swing. You just got to hope you hit the pitch. It's a question of, whether you do or not. There's going to be times where some guys are going to hit and some aren't.
There's a possibility also of a virtuous circle here that sort of manifests over several years. Like, all right, this is a good environment. I'm going to sign there. Okay, fine. I signed, the mini mid level or whatever to go there for a year or two, and then I get paid because we're going to be good. I'm going to look great. So I think that's a that's certainly, if they're able to keep this going, that's a possibility also, that almost for a place that hasn't necessarily always been like a destination. I think at times in the past, San Antonio's had a little of this. Certainly Boston has had a little of this at times. I'm going to go, rehab my value, get my value up, and then I'll get paid. And that's another way that you can get those ancillary pieces in ways that don't break the budget for you. They're ecstatic that Bruce Brown got paid, I think.
Yeah. It's a good look for them.
Yeah.
Come to us, sign the mid-level or the whatever.
Come play a year, get a ring, get a shot at a ring,
and get a huge contract. Go get paid. But the one guy I think I've been more impressed with, though, besides the obvious Jokic, right? Like anytime you watch Denver, you're like, oh, Jokic, okay, it gets, no offense, nobody get mad at me. It's boring. He's so fantastic, it's boring. It's Michael Porter Jr. Because this was a guy I was concerned about coming in, and I want more. Won my championship. I got paid. I want a bigger role. I want this. I want that. He's come in and has played the same role he played last season. And I'm massively impressed. Maybe I'm just a jerk because I was expecting this and I shouldn't have. Obviously I don't know the kid, but this is something you see with teams like that. And I think it's been very impressive to see him still stay completely bought in.
I think also a thing with Michael Porter Jr., and this continues to run from the playoffs for him, his defensive intensity has stayed up. Yeah. Playoff level defensive intensity. And that's part of why they've looked so good, I think. And for this guy to have made the transformation, and post back injury, by the way, made the transformation that he's made on defense, is pretty incredible. And we already know like what he can do offensively. The guy, like, he literally can go for 40 any night.
So I think this is a credit again to Jokic and sort of the environment he creates. I think it's also, I think we have to again give credit to Michael Malone for kind of instilling a bit of or facilitating the instillment of culture that allows for this to happen. There's an interview that it got surfaced again this week. It was, I think, or recently, Steve Kerr was getting interviewed by Bob Myers, and he talked at length about, all right, the important part for building a culture is, what am I about? Okay, one of the things I'm about is joy. So I can't just say joy. I have to make that part of our thing every day. And it seems like Michael Malone has done whatever his sort of core values are. He has managed to infuse that throughout their basketball program so that, all right, well, we're playing together, we're sacrificing, we're doing this. If you listen to the quotes that are coming out of Porter Jr. or Aaron Gordon, it's like Aaron Gordon, who's been around, is talking about how, these are going to be the best years of my basketball life. And you're asking me if I'm okay doing the dirty work. Like, we're winning titles. I'm playing great. I get to play with that guy. And you're asking me if I'm okay. Of course I am.
He's going to Serbia every summer.
This is awesome.
Right? Like, I'm sorry, man, but Aaron Gordon is like, he's like free meals in Serbia for the rest of his life.
I've done the other thing. I've been the man on a bad team. I've done that. This is so much better. And I think that's, that's credit to the players. That's credit to the coaches, credit to Jokic for that being the environment.
It's not quite Iguodala, because I think Iguodala had a better career by the time he got to the Warriors, but it is similar, right? Like Aaron Gordon, like you said, he was the number one guy, gets traded over there. All of a sudden his life and job gets so much easier. And look at, and as far as his two-way play goes, I mean, no doubt in my mind that I think he's a better player overall now, even as a less total productive offensive guy. He's so much more efficient, defends at a higher level. I think even his rebounding is better. So
it was because he was just so poorly miscast.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's really so obviously, when you put the person in the right role, they're a better player. Just like, if you pick the right actress for the Mean Girls reboot, it might work. No,
I can't. We can't do this. Okay. Well, all right. That's enough.
Can we put it just to put a point on that? And that's, I think, all of that plays into, instead of them kind of resting or like, we're going to go back and win a title again. It's like, I can't wait to play again tomorrow. I'm going to go to a different sport, but there's a documentary I watched about Pep Guardiola's Barcelona team. And Thierry Henry, great player, who was kind of past his prime and wasn't like the best player on that team anymore. He talked about the game would end. They would have won 3-0. He's like, we don't get to play anymore. Game's over. Damn. And there's almost a little of that feeling about them too. Just like being this good, this in sync. This is fun, and you want that to keep going as long as possible.